little Sunday matinee action here on Big Ten Plus. Titans and Spartans taking on each other. Matilda X got a chance for three to start this one off. Iceland Alexander, she's been so good on the glass this season, misses the putback, but it stays with Michigan State.
That's been a big factor in this Michigan State season. The emergence of Iceland Alexander started to show some flashes at the end of last year, but really taking over after the departure of Alicia Smith. The question was going to be, where do they get that secondary inside presence along with Tyre Parks? And Iceland Alexander has more than lived up to it.
Right back into Hageman, a little give and go on the inbounds, and Michigan State scores first.
Beautiful look. Detroit Mercy just kind of fell asleep right back at the bucket.
There's that full court press that Susie Merchant has used all season for Michigan State. Our officials today, Calais Enterline, Kelsey Reynolds, and Lauren Nymira. Top of the key three from Cabañas Yorins misses. Hageman, little tuck dribble, missed the shot on the runner. Right corner, now to the top with it is Hooper. Far side of Cabañas Yorins. Hooper gets it right back. Finds a curling Fleta Robles. A little runner there is good from Jada Moorhead.
Good touch on that shot from mid-range. Even things up. This Detroit Mercy team, as we mentioned, playing better as of late. Trying to keep some of that momentum.
Kamaria McDaniel leads Michigan State in scoring. Misses that shot. Alexander again the offensive rebound. That's already two in this game for her. Kick around to Hageman, who drills a three.
Beautiful basketball right there. The ball movement, able to knock down the open shot. It's every coach's dream, the extra pass leading to the bucket.
Up the floor for Fleta Robles as Detroit Mercy breaks the press. Back to Hooper. Hooper on the wing. Alexander, nice cutoff, and she'll get a steal. Alexander in transition. Euro step, right-handed lay off the glass.
Coast to coast, doing it on both ends. Iceland Alexander. What a start for the sophomore.
Here's Irena Moudois, gets it across half court. Early 7-2 lead for Michigan State. Cabañas Yorins, left side to Hooper. She'll get a screen from Moorhead. Now Fleta Robles, down low to Moudois. Guarded by Osment, had a hand in there. Only three on the shot clock from Moudois. Has to put up a hook. Misses, and McDaniel's got it. Eck in rhythm, three-pointer. Nothing but twine. Matilda Eck cashes in on her first opportunity.
Detroit Mercy really has to try and settle things down here. They look a little out of sorts. Michigan State blitzing them off the jump. Just got to weather the storm, try and stay in this thing. And if they want to hang around, they're going to have to knock down some shots.
A near steal for Matilda Eck gives Detroit Mercy the inbounds here on the near side. Imani McNeil checks into the game for Mayana Hooper. McNeil's got it now, double teamed by Hageman and Alexander. Alexander has to recover. Down low is Moudois, reverse layup, no. It's Moudois that gets the rebound. That was Cabañas Yorins on the layup. Now she'll drive. Runner, too strong. Eck gets it late in the shot clock, and Michigan State's in transition. Hageman to the center of the court. Kick in the corner. Osment was open for three. Instead, she'll make the extra pass to Eck. Back-to-back trays for Matilda Eck. And Michigan State's got a big early lead, 13-2, and Kate Ochter wants to talk it over. Michigan State through the first 4 minutes here in East Lansing. That press hasn't given Detroit Mercy too many troubles early, but on that one, it's 10 seconds. And Kate Ochter understandably upset with her team. Not how you want to respond right after calling timeout.
And she got right on to Cabañas Lauren, just telling her forward. Don't move side to side. Go forward. You have to get the ball across. And Michigan State has been so good at causing those 10-second violations, especially in the early season when they got off to their 6-0 start.
Kate Ochter taking over as Osment is fouled on the drive in her first season at Detroit Mercy. As we mentioned, 2-7 on the year. She's 69 and 117 all time as a head coach. Was at Loyola Chicago before coming over to Detroit Mercy and was in a very similar situation there. Detroit Mercy was 1 and 29 last year. She's got a big job to take over this year. Loyola Chicago was 2 and 28 the year before Octor got there back in 2016. She ended her career at Loyola Chicago. They went 18 and 12 their most recent season, improved wins in 5 out of the 6 years that she was there. Sounds like the person for the job down there in Detroit.
And that's really what you're looking for when you bring in a new coach in that spot is you just want to see improvement and consistent improvement. 1 year improvement, then bouncing and falling back towards where you were. That's not what you're looking for. You want to build something, and the trajectory that she has had throughout her career has really been impressive.
Foul on Hageman as 3 Titans will check in. Fleta Robles, Moorhead, and Moudois all sit down. Excuse me, Cabañas Yorins, that is. There's Moudois on the inbound, gets it to Hooper. Hooper driving right on Osmond, kicking it back. That's Amaya Birch into the game for the first time. McNeil drives on Hageman, spins, double clutch, kind of had nowhere to go. It's grabbed by Emma Trowali Porta. Moorhead driving all the way down, missed it. Alexander's there. Back to Alexander from Osmond. Hand off to Hageman. Bad spacing for Michigan State, but McDaniel's going to launch from deep. Alexander, 3 offensive rebounds already, and it results in 3 points as well on the assist to Matilda Eck.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Yorins. Birch driving left, back to Cabañas Yorins. Moorhead trying to work on Parks, nowhere to go. Baker will give her shot and is fouled on the drive. Susie Merchant doesn't like that call as Kamaria McDaniel will check in, and looked like Ayrault might have got all ball there.
Well, and the foul was called on Joyner on the body there. There's a little bit of contact coming across. I think they gave her the block, but Susie Merchant definitely doesn't agree.
Baker on the pull-up, back iron, no. Ayrault skies for the board. Quickly up the floor to McDaniel. Back left to Ayrault. Vischer, she'll take it. Back iron again. Lara Garcia comes down with it. Up for Baker in transition. Moorhead's got it. She drives, and a block is called on Stephanie Vischer, the transfer from Stephen F. Austin. That's her first foul.
And Vischer's another player from Michigan State that's going to need to step up in the absence of Gabby Elliott. Had a really good career at Stephen F. Austin, now coming over to Michigan State and taking that step up in competition, but has had flashes this season, but really needs to find a way to put it all together in a Michigan State uniform, and she's going to have the opportunity to do so now.
Vischer was part of the All-Southland Conference first team last year, as well as their all-defensive team. She led the Lumberjacks in points, assists, and steals a season ago. Here she is on the wing, driving and kicking to McDaniel. Gets it right back in the corner, does Vischer. Now to Ayrault. McDaniel drives. Alex there. Extra pass. One touch. Vischer, no. And Baker's got it. Baker double dribbled. Changed her mind in midair, and that was too late. Kate Octor wants a sub.
And Michigan State not hitting on that last possession. Let's get another look here. Yeah, it looked like had nowhere to go as Theron Halleck jumped up at it. But just want you to pay attention to the ball movement for Michigan State. It's been a staple of these Susie Merchant teams over the last decade plus here at Michigan State. Just they move the ball so quickly, always looking for that extra pass.
Ayrault, nice shot fake. The runner from 12 feet is good for Julia Ayrault. We mentioned her big game against Ohio State. Took over when Elliott went down, and now a steal for Michigan State. Nice pass from McDaniel up the floor to Halleck as she converts on the lay.
Silky smooth with the bounce pass from McDaniel.
And another steal from McDaniel. Looking up the floor again. Ayrault, deep three. Good for Julia Ayrault. What a quick spurt from Michigan State. 7 points in 30 seconds. It's 26-4. Cabañas-Yorins will slow things down under a minute here in the first quarter. Birch driving left. Fleta Robles gets a screen. Parks is there to hedge. Fleta Robles looks down low. Nobody's there. Shot from Birch beyond the arc. Front iron, no. McDaniel pulls it down. 20 seconds left for Michigan State in the quarter. Vischer, Ayrault feeling herself a little bit. Just misses that one as Fleta Robles pulls down a nice rebound. Fleta Robles with 8 seconds. Gets rid of it to Birch. Driving, down to 5 on the clock. Back to Fleta Robles. Down to 2, all the way to the lane. No, it just falls off the iron for Fleta Robles at the buzzer. But Michigan State, what a way.
The Spartans can score so quickly when they're able to create turnovers and turn defense into offense. A lot of turnovers for touchdowns coming in this first quarter.
Birch to Cabañas-Yorins. Imani McNeil back in the game. Back to Anna Cabañas-Yorins, the freshman that we highlighted for Detroit Mercy. Now here's Moudois driving, stopping in the lane. She goes up with the left hook, but traveled before the shot.
Switch that pivot foot. The length of Tori Osmond giving some trouble to the Titans as standing at 6'1" and just very quick on the perimeter, but can play inside as well. Really good shot blocker for the Spartans.
Jada Moorhead has all 4 points for Detroit Mercy as it's in down low to McDaniel. Double clutch off the glass, no. Moudois there, quickly up the floor. Nice pass to Birch. The layup just falls off again. Second time in a row for Detroit Mercy. They're 1 for 12 to start this game from the floor. Alexander on the block, too strong. McDaniel nearly took it away from McNeil, but she steadies. Moudois came into this game leading Detroit Mercy in both points and rebounds, averaging nearly a double-double as she's got it down low. Off the glass is good for Irena Moudois, her first points of the game. 12 points a game, nearly 10 rebounds for Moudois on the season.
And this Detroit Mercy team is one of the best rebounding teams in the country.
Matilda Eck, 4 for 5 from beyond the arc.
Can't rebound much if Michigan State's not missing much, though.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Stephanie Vischer makes both free throws. Excuse me, just 1 free throw for Michigan State.
And Eck has really improved this season. We've seen her as a shooter in this game, and she was a shooter when she came to Michigan State a year ago, but she's really improved in her ability to put the ball on the floor, drive to the basket, and also as a perimeter defender. She's been much better this year.
Clearly was a focal point in the offseason for Susie Merchant. I think what the coaching staff did with Eck was they quickly realized her potential and put an investment in time and training and building her as a player, and she's done very well with it. Joyner, another and one for Mo Joyner. She's having a game.
The steal and the setup from Theron Halleck puts it right in the pocket, and Joyner once again finishing, but running the floor, the freshman, a little scoop pass.
Theron Halleck has been pretty impressive in her first season at Michigan State. Just an athlete overall as Joyner makes the extra free throw, but Halleck is someone that Susie Merchant has openly talked about as one of her favorite players on this team, the way she plays so hard and so fast and does all the little things right.
And this is the second straight year that the Spartans have had a freshman that's come in and had to do a lot of running the point when they've been on the floor. Dee Hageman a year ago. Still a lot of time left for those two to continue to grow at that point guard position. Susie Merchant has to be happy with what she has at that position for the next few years.
Fleta Robles on the left side gets double teamed off the screen. Chikemba on the shot, misses. Halleck too strong on the pass intended for Vischer. It's taken away by Kavanius Jorens.
And that's the other side of what we've seen a little bit there in Halleck, just trying to do a little bit too much there. Trying to throw that pass ahead, trying to lead her teammate, but unable to connect.
We mentioned the athlete that Halleck was the Gatorade Michigan Soccer Player of the Year last year at Forest Hill Central High School. Good on the three at the end of the shot clock for Kavanius Jorens, her first points in this game.
If you're tired, Parks, not much you can do about that. Close out on it, just knocks it down, shake your head, go back down, try and get it back on the other end.
It was a zip pass from Joyner, too strong for Parks. Another good look. Kavanius Jorens drilling her first field goal.
Number 5, McDaniel back for the Spartans, replacing Joyner.
Kavanius Jorens gets it across half court. Looking right side to Fleta Robles, who has it now. Down low to Birch. Birch, stop, one dribble, pop, no. Halleck's got it on the rebound from Parks. Shovel pass, Ayrault to the cup. Fouled, too strong on the layup, but she'll head to the line.
And you mentioned the season high in the last game for Ayrault. She's got a chance to set a new season high already in this first half. Today from the free throw line. Been playing really, really well. And not lacking any sort of confidence. Attacking every time she gets the ball, she's looking to put it in the basket.
Brooklyn Brewers checks into the game for the first time, and you mentioned how good Ayrault was 2 seasons ago, as 8 points is her season high right now. Her career high is 19, and for rebounds, it's 12. I mean, those numbers stand out in and of themselves for someone who was a sophomore when she got those numbers. The expectations were understandably very high for Ayrault coming into last season.
And Ayrault's highlight tape, some of the most impressive things on it might be the blocks.
Yeah. Career high 5 blocks in one game for Julia Ayrault as a sophomore, as McDaniel drills another 3. That's the 8th for Michigan State in this game, shooting nearly 50% in that category. In the corner, Birch has it. That one's no good. Halleck is there. Up for McDaniel. Numbers for Michigan State. Good bounce pass. Ayrault fouled, and the bucket. And as we mentioned, there is a new season high for Julia Ayrault with 10 points, 4 of 7 from the floor. She'll head to the free throw line. There you see Gabby Elliott on your screen with the brace on her left leg. That ACL tear against Ohio State. Too strong in the free throw from Ayrault. Poked away by Vischer, and Halleck's got it. Another turnover for Detroit Mercy. That's 12 in this game already. Down low, Ruers. She's open, and that's good off the glass. Brooklyn Ruers gets into the game and quickly scores on a nice pass from Vischer. And another timeout for Kate Octor. Kavanius Jorens has it for Detroit Mercy on the right side. Here's Imani McNeil kicking to Fleta Robles, driving off a screen. Dump pass down low was intended for Trawali Porta, but taken away for Michigan State. Up for Halleck, soars for the catch, missed the shot. Trawali Porta pulls it down. Kavanius Jorens has it. Near side with McNeil. Fleta Robles. Now McNeil will fire from deep. That's off the front iron. Jayla James is into the game for Michigan State. Right side, Fisher cans a three.
13, Fisher.
Fisher's got 4 points in this one. 1 minute to go before the break. McNeil driving left. She'll kick to Fleta Robles. Guarded by Fisher. Turning. Fleta Robles try to go to the corner. There is Cavanius Yorins, way too strong as she soars it. And Jayla James, the senior from Maryland, pulls it down. Up for Rurers, tipped out of bounds by Trawali Porta.
In for the Titans, number 1, Mudwa. Replacing Trawali.
Halleck inbounds to McDaniel. Looking for Rurers down low. She'll keep it herself. Little fadeaway after the bump. McDaniel through the contact makes it. Just her second bucket in this game. Leading Michigan State on the season, 15 points per game. Had a really good outing in that trip they took to Portland in the Phil Knight Invitational. Now Halleck with numbers. Stops. Changed her mind. Thought about passing. McDaniel gets the board. Doesn't get the foul call. Under 20 seconds, here's Moudois. Trying to drive. Fleta Robles. Now taken away. McDaniel with 5 on the clock. Racing. Trying to get coast to coast. Does. And a foul and 1.
Maria McDaniel, such an electric scorer. Had a huge season at Penn State a couple of years ago. Had some injury troubles at Baylor. Now here back in the Big Ten and once again putting on a show.
She talked about those injury troubles with Susie Merchant after she had a good game against Oregon, kind of led Michigan State in a comeback, had a season-high 28 in their second game of the Phil Knight Invitational, and said, you know, she was at the lowest point in her life when she had those injuries, and to be back at Michigan State and succeed as she has really brought her back. For Kate Ochter, the conversation in the locker room had to have been pretty interesting. But she's a fiery coach, and you can see her on the sidelines, very animated and expects a lot out of her team, despite what you might see on the scoreboard. And I think maybe the big thing that stands out is Detroit Mercy. They've been so good at rebounding this year, one of the best in the country, averaging 42 rebounds per game, but trailing in the rebounding category after the first half, 27-20.
And I think part of that has to do with the size advantage, but also Detroit Mercy has still put in a good effort. They're hanging around as the smaller team in this matchup in that rebounding category, like you mentioned, especially on the defensive end. The offensive side's where they've struggled a little bit compared to where they're normally at, as you mentioned, towards the top of the Horizon League.
Fleta Robles from the top of the key to Cavanius Yorins. For Cavanius Yorins, just 4 points in that first half, looking to get going as she drives and is tripped up. Foul on Michigan State. That will go against Dee Dee Hageman.
Got a little tangled up in the feet there.
Cavanius Yorins, freshman of the week last week in the Horizon League, averaged 13.5 points, 4.5 rebounds in 2 games for the Titans. One of those games, a win over Miami Hamilton as well, and a close game against a good Georgia Southern opponent.
Detroit Mercy not going to be happy about how it's playing today, but still plenty of time in the season to rebound and recover before really getting into the meat of Horizon League play.
Alexander from the short corner on a nice dump pass from Kamaria McDaniel for the assist. McDaniel has 6 assists today. That goes along with her 7 points as well. Another good game from Michigan State's leader. Mayana Hooper, the freshman from West Bloomfield, Michigan, with it. Kicks in the corner. Now right back, Hooper looking left, driving off a Moudois screen. Down low to Moudois. Has to go up with a shot late in the shot clock and taken away. That will be a shot clock violation and another turnover for Detroit Mercy, number 18 on the game.
For the Titans, number 15, Trawali. replacing Moorhead.
McDaniel from the top. Pull-up jumper, missed it. Pulled down by Alexander, missed her own putback. And Fleeta Robles grabs the loose ball. Iceland Alexander with 8 rebounds in this game. Cavanius Jorens, right side. It gets down low to Troy Porta. Back to Mayana Hooper, good for 3.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Basketball.
It's going to hurt in a lot of close games like Michigan State's been playing.
It already has this season. For their last 5 single-digit losses as Parks grabs the board. After the Moorhead steal, McNeil all the way down. Goes to Birch, just throws it up over Matilda Eck and scores. Amaya Birch has a name that we've said a lot today. 4 points for her. She's played well for Detroit Mercy. Eck in the post. Can't get it to fall. We talked about Matilda Eck expanding her game. A little bit of post work there.
Yeah, maybe got away with a little bit of a hook there on the outside of it, but doing a nice job to get spacing. And as soon as Theron Halleck came over to that side of the court, she went right down to the post and used that size advantage.
That's that move that they are cracking down on in all levels of basketball, all the way from NBA and WNBA down to high school, that kind of hook around to get around the defender. Eck makes the second free throw. 13 points for her now. Driving, McNeil. Charge as Mo Joyner got down there and took it, and she's fired up about it after the fact. Came over, stopped, even got a little bit of the ball too.
And then the celebration to finish it all off.
Flip to Eck. Now Joyner's got it. She'll go back to Eck. Little fade three-pointer. Bricked it too strong. Able to come down with the rebound was Akaya Baker, but not before Osmond could take it away.
That's a really tough spot for Baker there. You've got 3 Spartans surrounding you. Have to get rid of that basketball and was unable to do so.
McNeil has it on the left side. Off a screen from Chikemba. Gets worked around to Baker. Stopping, nearly had it taken away by Halleck. Baker pivoting. Left side with it is Birch. Hesitation, dribble, pull up. Just rims out, and Osmond's there. Halleck, hesitation, drive. She'll keep it herself. Tucked it like a running back, but couldn't get the layup. But Tyre Parks is there to clean it up off the glass.
Just too much size for Michigan State inside. As good of a rebounding team as Detroit Mercy is, they just haven't been able to handle the Spartans on the glass.
Most points Detroit Mercy has scored in a quarter here in the third with 10 already. Still 2.5 minutes to go. McNeil all the way down. Got fouled as she went up. A block on Tori Osmond. For Osmond, that's her second. Stephanie Vischer and Julia Ayrault will check in. We mentioned Ayrault, 10 points in that first half. Season high for her this season. Boudoir checks back in for Detroit Mercy. Cavanius Jorens as well. Titans fans may not be happy about the result here in East Lansing, but many of them are probably rooting for the same football team, Detroit Lions, who just picked up a big win over the New York Jets in dramatic fashion. That's something Detroit fans can be happy about at least.
Yeah, you had to get that one in, didn't you, Brennan?
Big one.
It's a big win for them. Getting closer to playoff hopes. It's crazy to say after their start to the season.
Halleck had a nice move but couldn't convert. It's up for McNeil. Bounce pass down low. Nice play, Amani McNeil on the good assist to Amaya Birch.
Beautifully run. Fast break there by the Titans.
The vision by the senior from Georgia, McNeil. That's her 4th assist. Halleck, kick back, Ayrault open for 3. Julia Ayrault, have a day. 13 points, 3 for 5 now from deep.
And absolutely no hesitation from Ayrault. She is letting it fly.
Ayrault came into this game shooting 1 for 13 from beyond the arc this season. Has really turned that around, and she'll get a block right there. Parks couldn't grab the rebound as it bounced off her head. Now Birch gets rid of it back to McNeil. Reversed around, Cavanius Jorens can't get it to go. Ayrault racing for the rebound now in transition. Joyner just gets out of the way. Julia Ayrault, flip back Joyner one more time. Ayrault, can she do it again? Oh, just rimmed out. That was a heat check. Parks is there for it, though.
Michigan State at the end of all 3 quarters so far. Just a flurry offensively that has been so tough to stop.
Cavanius Jorens off a Moudois screen, tried to bounce pass it down low to a cutting Baker.
Ayrault just so smooth. Quickly letting it fly. Almost snuck that last one in, too, on the heat check.
Baker pull up. I think it was tipped by Joyner out of bounds. Last touched by Michigan State. And Ayrault didn't shoot outstanding in her first 2 seasons here. Around 30%, but below that mark. But she was someone who, when you look at the sheet and see 1 for 13, you're surprised when you see that number because of her smooth shot, and you knew it was something she was working on as well.
And her ability to stretch the floor as a 4 is so important to this Michigan State team, what they do offensively.
Taken away in transition is Birch. Got the foul call but couldn't get the bucket.
Spartans might have run that action one too many times there as the freshman Birch able to jump it. Darren Halleck had a good recovery. She's inside that restricted area.
Birch on the season, 65% free throw shooter, makes the first one. Leads all Detroit Mercy scorers with 7. Two for 2. 11.8 left for Michigan State here in the third. We'll call one final set. Parks will set the screen. Halleck doesn't use it, just takes it all the way to the cup herself. Missed it. Moudois got it, has to put up a shot. Doesn't get it in time.
Due to time constraints, we now move ahead in the action.
Hageman can't make the pull-up jumper as it's snatched down by Birch. Up for Baker. She'll pull up herself. Front iron, no. Tipped out of bounds by Moudois and Detroit Mercy as it goes back to Michigan State. For Detroit Mercy, this is a team obviously rebuilding. Didn't get the result they want today. But I like at least what I've seen from Kate Octor, and this is a Detroit Mercy team who is led by a lot of their young players, like we talked about, not just statistically, but you can see it. They are leaders and have some impressive composure, the way they handle themselves on the floor. It bodes well for the next couple of seasons.
And we talked a lot about trajectory for a team like Detroit Mercy with Octor coming in, and that's where you get that upward trajectory. And they've played a lot better in this second half. After a really rough half number 1, kind of looked shell-shocked after Michigan State blitzed them early, but seem to have settled down a little bit, getting some good shots, creating some opportunities here in half number 2.
We talked about how Ochter made improvements at Loyola Chicago. Looking to do that with Detroit Mercy. Hooper, nice jab step drive, missed it. Trawali Porta pulled it down and fell down. Now Alexander jumps on it and gets rid of it to Hageman. Left side, Eck. Pull up three, no, bounces out of bounds. Kate Ochter has some interesting ties already to this game. Played in the MAC collegiately at Bowling Green, graduated from Bowling Green State in 2009, was one of the best MAC players there, one of the best players that Bowling Green has had. Leads the program in assists in history. But she, at Bowling Green, played in the MAC against Eastern Michigan. Well, who's the coach of Eastern Michigan from back in 2008 and 2007? Well, Susie Merchant, who's the coach here at Michigan State. And Ochter actually beat Merchant's Eastern Michigan team all 4 years that she was at Bowling Green.
Well, and that Bowling Green team was really good. Went to the Sweet 16, the farthest that a MAC team has ever gone. I think that'll play, Brendan.
Sure will. Left side with it is Birch. Now Fleta Robles.
I don't think they know. Oh.
Quick release. They didn't notice the shot clock. McNeil had to throw it up and missed it.
Yeah, I think McNeil saw it, but I don't think anybody else did. There wasn't much of a sense of urgency on that side, and McNeil just had to chuck it.
Hageman looking down low, backdoor for McDaniel, just threw it away. 5:43 to play, checking in Kavanius Jorens again. So will Akaya Baker check in. Baker hit the game-winning and one last year in Detroit Mercy's only win over University of Illinois Chicago, as they went 1-29 a season ago. That win also snapped a 29-game losing streak that spanned all the way to 2 seasons ago. And Baker was just a freshman when she hit that game-winning and one. She's played well today as well. 5 rebounds for her. A couple assists, too. Taken away by Jayla James. James in transition, keeps it herself, missed it with the left hand. Hooper pulls it down and quickly turns on the burners. 3-on-1 now. Hooper, bounce pass. Oh! Kavanius Jorens got ran into by Jayla James. She is down on the floor right now. Hit her face pretty hard as James was trying to recover.
Yeah, that does not feel good. Good to see her back up quickly.
Walking herself. Doesn't appear to be any blood. She's going to stay in the game, and boy, that's a tough kid, the freshman Kavanius Jorens.
We'll feel that one tomorrow.
Might even see it, too. That's one of those that maybe bruises over the next day.
She might even feel it right now. I'm sure she feels it right now, but oh, that does not seem fun.
Ball stays with the Titans. Here's Hooper. Crossing over, driving on Ruers. Hooper stopping on the block, fouled as she went up for the shot. Mayana Hooper, explosive first step. Just saw it on the last play before that one, and then using it again to get all the way down to the lane.
Hooper is already quick enough that she's able to blow by bigger defenders on the perimeter, but Ruiz thought she was getting the screen, started to lean towards the screen, and that is more than enough space for Hooper to get through.
Looks like Kavanius Jorens might be bleeding now as she's getting treated by their trainer over there on the bench. Free throw no good from Hooper.
And definitely nothing intentional on that from James. She comes in and hammers her, but immediately went over to try and help her up, just trying to get back and make up for the mistake.
Hooper makes the second one. McDaniel lost it. Trawali Porta is there. Trawali Porta in the short corner driving on James is fouled. James thought she stayed straight up.
7.
That's the one everybody's got circled. The first game after students return to campus is against the Wolverines. Right here on this very floor, January 7th. It's Trawali Porta. Makes them both. 5 points for her, 3 rebounds as well for the sophomore from Tiana, Spain. 6 Spaniards, 7 international players, as Andrea Chikemba is from Portugal on this team. James misses the shot. Former interim head coach Latanya Collins last year had a connection overseas back in Spain, and that's part of the reason there's 6 Spaniards on this team, and they had already made a commitment to come to Detroit Mercy despite the new hire of Kate Octor, and stayed with that commitment. A lot of them were over in Spain just a year ago.
And a lot of them have made big impacts on this team early in their Detroit Mercy careers. There's a good drive right into a sea of Spartans there from Baker. Able to get to the stripe.
Baker 5 for 6 at the charity stripe this season. Hasn't been to the line yet tonight. First chances. That one's good.
Might have hit every single part of the rim. Found a way. All that matters is that it hits the bottom of the net.
That is the most important part.
Well, after going through the rim, of course.
That's the back iron. And clock issue. Ball will stay with the Titans. With it on the right side is Taylor Blunt. Blunt step back 3, too strong. Had to put up a shot in the shot clock. That one didn't hit the rim. So it's a shot clock violation. Ayrault, she's been arguably the player of the game for Michigan State. Tied for a game high, 13 points right now, 5 rebounds as well for Julia Ayrault. She's done it on the defensive side too, 1 block and a steal. Out of bounds, it'll stay with the Spartans. 7 on the shot clock, 3:20 left in the game. And back-to-back games for Julia Ayrault. Season high in points and rebounds against Ohio State. Sets a new season high with 13 tonight. McDaniel off the inbounds. Ayrault there for the offensive board. Kick back to Ruers. What a play. They couldn't get a shot off, but Ayrault grabbed her 6th rebound. To go along with those 13. Left side, Hooper. Ayrault is there. Hooper driving left. We talked about that explosive first step, but Ayrault's there from behind to make the block. McDaniel, one-handed shove pass to Vischer. Too strong. She blew the layup. Halleck, what a steal. Jumped in front of Moudois to get it, and a foul on Irena Moudois. Boy, the way Halleck just timed that dribble perfectly and exploded forward to get that steal, so impressive. McDaniel inbound. Goes to Ayrault. Right back to Kamaria McDaniel. Trying to work on Baker. Does get all the way down to the lane, but misses. Now Ruers grabs the board and is fouled.
That is the 18th offensive rebound for Michigan State in this game.
Maddie Skorupski checks in, as well as Olivia Porter. Porter, the freshman from Chapel Hill, North Carolina. Skorupski, freshman locally from Clarkston. MSU in total against one of the best rebounding teams in the country. Leads by 10, 47-37. Right wing, Baker. Trying to drive on Skorupski. Kick Blunt's there. Three-pointer. Back iron high bounce. Couldn't get it. Skorupski pulls down the board. Looks up for Ayrault. Ayrault floats one to a backdoor cutting. Skorupski and one! Maddie Skorupski, what a play. Second bucket ever as a Michigan State Spartan. Doing it in style. Clearly, the fans and her teammates loving it.
Just got it floated right over the top, and
how about the pass from
finish it through?
Too strong on the free throw, and Hooper's got it. Chikemba left side, kicked across to Hooper. Deep three from Blunt again. Taylor Blunt just firing since she's been in the game. Hasn't been able to convert. James has it now, hesitates, drives, nearly had it poked away. She kicks out to Porter. Porter trying to drive. Porter wants some of her own. Had it tipped out of bounds. It stays with MSU. Skorupski in the short corner, jab step drive, shovel pass. Ruers now trying to spin. The left hand is good for Brooklyn Ruers.
Good touch on the hook off that spin from Brooklyn Ruers. She's shown some strong offensive ability in flashes and short spurts of playing time this season for Michigan State.
Detroit Mercy of their last 7. Sonia Perdita into the game. Laura Garcia went to set the screen. Blunt, that's an offensive foul as Taylor Blunt pushed off. 60 seconds left in this one. Ayrault left side to James. James crossover. Nice Euro step. Had it swatted. Nice play by Blunt. Picked up by Chikemba. She'll keep it herself. Now she'll kick back. Taylor Blunt doesn't launch. Chikemba will instead from the corner. I think Ruers got a hand on that. Now Porter in transition for Michigan State. Stops on the wing. James is there. She'll launch a three. Just rims out. Ruers the offensive rebound. 19 tonight for Michigan State, and they'll convert on what might be the last one. Chikemba, Blunt, and now Hooper getting the screen from Laura Garcia. Kick in the corner. Perdita didn't want to shoot it. Blunt shot fake, has to put up a shot soon. Zeros on the clock. No whistle. They'll just let it play out. And Michigan State tops Detroit Mercy with a nice win by 50. 91-41, your final score.